It is a path of non-violence, ahimsa, self-discipline, and spiritual purification, with the goal of achieving liberation, moksha, from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. Jainism emphasizes the importance of living a life of harmlessness, truthfulness, and asceticism, and it teaches that the soul can attain its highest potential through ethical conduct and deep spiritual practice. Key principles of Jainism. Ahimsa, non-violence. Central to Jainism is the principle of ahimsa, or non-violence, which extends to all living beings. Jains believe that every living organism has a soul, and thus, all life is sacred. They practice non-violence not only in actions but also in thoughts and speech, seeking to avoid harm in every possible way. Anekantavada, non-absolutism. This principle teaches that reality is complex and can be viewed from many different perspectives. Anekantavada suggests that truth and reality are multifaceted, and no single viewpoint can fully capture them. This encourages tolerance and respect for differing opinions. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness, non-attachment to material possessions and worldly desires is another important tenet. Jains believe that attachment leads to suffering and prevents spiritual growth. Through self-restraint and detachment, one can purify the soul and progress toward liberation. Satya, truthfulness. Jains strive to live in truth, which means being honest in thought, speech, and action. Deception, lying, and dishonesty are seen as major obstacles to spiritual progress. Brahmacharya, celibacy or chastity. Celibacy or strict sexual restraint is considered a vital part of the Jain path, especially for monks and nuns. For lay people, it means fidelity in relationships and avoiding sexual misconduct. Self-discipline and asceticism. Jainism encourages strict self-discipline and ascetic practices to purify the soul. Monks and nuns follow rigorous practices like fasting, meditation, and renunciation of worldly comforts. Lay Jains also observe various ethical guidelines to maintain spiritual progress. The concept of the soul and liberation. In Jainism, every living being possesses a soul, jiva, that is inherently pure but becomes entangled in karma, the accumulated consequences of one's actions, thoughts, and desires. Karma, both good and bad, binds the soul to the cycle of samsara, rebirth. The ultimate goal of a Jain is to cleanse the soul of accumulated karma, achieve spiritual purity, and attain moksha, which is liberation from samsara. Jainism teaches that the path to liberation is shown by enlightened beings called Tirthankaras, who are revered as spiritual teachers and guides. There have been 24 Tirthankaras in this current age, with Lord Mahavira, 599 to 527 BCE, being the most recent and the one who brought Jainism to prominence in its present form. Tirthankaras provide teachings on how to live a life of purity and non-violence, and their lives serve as examples for followers. Jain scriptures. Jainism has a rich collection of sacred texts. The main scriptures are written in various languages, including Prakrit, Sanskrit, and Tamil. The central texts of Jainism are Agamas, the canonical scriptures, which contain teachings on ethics, philosophy, and metaphysics. Tattvartha Sutra, a key text that provides a systematic exposition of Jain philosophy, including the nature of the soul, karma, and liberation. Sthananga Sutra discusses the nature of the soul and the practice of meditation. Jain practices puja. Worship. Jain pujas are rituals of prayer and reverence toward Tirthankaras and other revered figures, often performed in temples. They may involve offerings, chanting, and meditation. Fasting and austerities. Fasting is a common practice among Jains to purify the body and mind. During religious festivals or personal vows, Jains may engage in extended fasting or other forms of self-discipline. Meditation. Meditation is a key practice for cultivating mental clarity, self-control, and spiritual insight. Jains focus on the practice of dhyana, meditation, to detach from worldly desires and attain inner peace. Vegetarianism. Jains are strict vegetarians, as part of their commitment to non-violence. They avoid eating foods that cause harm to living beings, such as root vegetables, which involve killing the plant in the process of harvesting. Jainism has two primary sects, Digambara and Svetambara. Digambara, meaning sky-clad, believe that monks should renounce all possessions, including clothing. This symbolizes total detachment from the material world. They also believe that women must be reborn as men to attain liberation. Svetambara, meaning white-clad, allow monks and nuns to wear white robes. They believe that women are capable of achieving liberation and do not need to be reborn as men. Jains build temples to honor Tirthankaras, and these temples are often places of intense devotion, study, and meditation. Notable pilgrimage sites include Palitana in Gujarat, a massive complex of Jain temples on the Shatranja hill. Rishabdev in Rajasthan, the birthplace of Lord Rishabdev, the first Tirthankara. Influence and legacy. Jainism has had a significant impact on the culture, ethics, and religious life of India. Many of its teachings on non-violence and vegetarianism have influenced other religions, including Buddhism and Hinduism, as well as the global peace movement. Jains are known for their emphasis on education, business acumen, and philanthropy. While Jainism is a minority religion in India, with an estimated 4 to 5 million followers, its teachings continue to influence the broader spiritual and ethical discourse worldwide.